Hello, and welcome back to the series where we played a game like Chucklefish had in mind. Today, we'll be robbing Ragna after this long introduction explaining the map objectives to us. But really, the main concern when doing a least turn possible playthrough is escaping with the twins. Our first move is talking to this skeleton named Toki with Wolfar, because once we free his friend, he'll help us get rid of these troops blocking our path. We can see on the north that the twins have a mixed army accompanying them, with the disadvantage that the black troops have to be careful not to block the purple troops' spots. Here, placing the purple archer there somehow manipulates the knight to go into our pike's range instead of between the two swords north. This enemy phase we don't take much damage, but our positioning tricks the enemies into positions where we can clean them up next turn. Down here, the thief lured the right sword into this spot so we can pike crit him while setting up another against the dog. On the north side, the spear and dog kill the enemy spear while setting up crits for purple units, and the mage heals the twins because we need them at full health to break down this gate. We then kill enough enemies so that the only ones who are left can only split their attacks or go after a dog in a forest, which the AI dislikes doing. Our thief gets into position on the bridge, which is 6 squares away from the enemy barracks and on the border of triggering the guards to attack. You might have noticed we didn't move Wolfar last turn, and that is because he isn't needed to take care of the small force down there, and we want to move him forward as early as possible to ensure that Ragna and her big army will come after him and not the twins. This is mostly a problem because of how fast our north army will be moving. Speaking of which, we position ourselves to move in once this gate is broken and attack it with the twins, or unit that can deal the most damage to it. We ransack the barracks with the thief, and decapping it is enough to trigger the start of the events that will cause Ragna to now move aggressively. Since Ragna waits a turn before actually chasing us, we have to be as close to her as possible, and Wolfar alone is enough bait for Ragna to go after, but he still has to get out. We break down the gate with our black archer to allow troops of both color to move forward. We need our black mage to move forward very quickly, and from now on, our spearmen are too slow to keep up with our pace, so we'll just leave them here. Our first groove is a cooling water, and as much as I'd like to place it further to benefit from it longer, we need it to reach our purple mage, otherwise he'll get targeted as a priority over our commander in the next turns. Here, Ragna moves to the right, but I believe this simply represents her calling her troops to go left. In the corridor, it might seem like our groove will work against us, as enemies will also heal from it, but because Wolfar plays before the twins, our black troops can clean up weakened enemies while healing any counter damage they'll receive. We once again heal the twins because they need to one-shot this pesky archer that, like in the Cherrystone 1 video, has a tendency to go after our precious mages. Since this will be a long enemy phase, I'll explain what we're aiming for. We want to two-shot the upcoming gate with our mages before the twins get there, so that their movement isn't slowed down and we gain a turn. Now, since the mages deal from 17 to 27 to the gate, we have to reset quite a bit for that to happen and get 50 damage over 2 hits. This black archer is also quite important and needs to move his full move to help us destroy the third gate like he did with the first. On Wolfar's side of things, the plan is going quite well, and he now has distracted Ragna for long enough and he'll need to retreat. For that purpose, we built a wagon and we brought over our archer just in case he gets surrounded by these low health swords. Here, it won't be the case, so that wasn't necessary. Back to the twins, we don't need the black mage to be the one to destroy this gate, so we heal with him instead since Wolfar has more money at his disposal thanks to the village we captured and the thief about to deposit what he stole earlier. Our second mage thankfully gets another good roll on the gate and we can proceed with our march. We use cooling water here a second time because we'll destroy this gate the same way we did the first, with 2 attacks, one from a full health commander and the second from an archer. We bait this incoming archer with our dog because he otherwise has an annoying habit of placing himself on the treasure or on the twins' path to it. Now, Wolfar, having accomplished what he came here to do, decides that his job here is done, and he'll take an express ticket out of this map that caused me quite a few headaches. In the closing section of this map, I want to talk about it more. If you count squares, in theory, it would take the twins 9 turns to reach their escape point after picking up the treasure. However, those 3 gates are in our way, slowing us down. Since the archers simply don't move fast enough, your only option to destroy the gates before the twins reach them and not spend a turn destroying it is sending your mages ahead, as they can do it with 2 high rolls like I did with the second one. Now I believe it is impossible to do so with all 3 gates while keeping them at full HP while walking through the enemies in the way. But I think there is a way quite close to my current solution to have the second and third gate destroyed like that, but the chances are too low for me to attempt it like this without Tool assisting to rig the RNG. Now Volder has arrived, and it can be a cool challenge to try to kill him on this map, but unless you're trying that, he's simply placed too far away from where you are at this point, since he arrives only after you've placed the twins on the treasure tile. The most he'll accomplish is take away some of your income, denying you a few heals. In our case, we're already done cleaning up the enemies in the treasure room, so the final challenge awaiting us after this final gate is 2 sword skeletons. Not really a threat if you ask me, but we can still have to pay a little attention to them so that they don't block our path on the final turn. That can be frustrating if you're not prepared for it. I was very thankful this archer did not low roll on me right before the end, but we can finally say goodbye to this map. Now I only just realized this, but the escape point actually extends 1 square above what I had in mind, so it is currently impossible for the skeletons to deny me this final turn, as much as I hyped it up. Now, Valder and Ragnar may be feeling a bit better about themselves because they're taking out all our remaining troops, but the deed has already been done. We were here for the treasure. It doesn't matter if a few disposable troops are left behind. And on that note, that was Felheim 1 mission completed in 11 turns and S rank this time, because checkpoints wouldn't have helped us anywhere. I'll see you next time.